What you are about to hear is the story of Ragnar and Freya, two souls bound by love in a world of war and loyalty. In the harsh Viking lands, they must choose between their fierce passion and the unforgiving demands of duty. In a Viking village along the rugged Scandinavian coast, where waves crashed against rocky shores and snow-covered mountains loomed in the distance, Ragnar, a fierce Viking warrior, returned home. His leather armor bore the scars of recent battles, his face was hardened from the icy winds of war, and his eyes once bright now carried a weight that only a warrior would know. Yet, beneath the blood and grit, his heart beat faster as he neared his village. Waiting for him was Freya, the woman he had loved since they were children. Freya's beauty was wild, her long hair flowing in the cold northern wind, her gaze strong and unyielding. She was as fierce in spirit as Ragnar was in battle, and their love reflected the very land they called home, untamed, raw, and enduring. As Ragnar rode into the village, their eyes met, and for a moment, all the noise and chaos of the world fell silent. Freya rushed to him, and in that embrace, every fear and every moment of separation melted away. But their reunion was short-lived. Ragnar's loyalty to his clan came before everything else, even their love. The village elder, Bjorn, a hardened chieftain with unyielding loyalty to his people, reminded Ragnar of his duty. Word had reached them that neighboring tribes were planning to raid their lands, and Ragnar's strength would soon be needed again. Every moment spent with Freya was precious, a stolen moment in a life marked by blood and war. Freya knew this reality well, but each time Ragnar left, her heart broke a little more. She feared not just for his life, but for the toll the battles took on his soul. She saw the man who had once been filled with laughter and warmth now turn into someone distant, worn down by violence and loss. Yet, she loved him with a fierceness that matched his own strength, willing to endure the uncertainty if it meant having him, even if only for fleeting moments. As the fires burned in celebration of his return, Ragnar and Freya stole away to the cliffs overlooking the sea. Beneath the stars, they shared a moment of intimacy and raw emotion, both knowing that these moments were rare gifts in a world that offered them so little peace. Ragnar promised her, as he had so many times before, that he would always return to her. Freya, holding back tears, clung to his words, even as the ache in her heart reminded her of the countless warriors who had made similar promises and never come back. Days passed in the Viking village, and with each one, the tension grew. The threat of a raid from rival clans loomed ever closer, and Ragnar's mind was caught between his love for Freya and his unbreakable loyalty to his people. He spent his days sharpening weapons and leading the younger warriors in preparation, but at night he sought solace in Freya's embrace, as if their love could shield him from the brutality of the life he had chosen. Freya, too, was torn. She had known since she was young that to love a Viking warrior meant loving the shadow of war that constantly hung over them. But her heart ached each time Ragnar left her side to join his fellow warriors. She could see the toll it took on him, the violence that haunted his dreams, the look in his eyes that told her he had seen things no human should ever witness. And yet, every time he returned to her, that fire, that fierce passion between them, rekindled, and for those brief hours, they were the only two people in the world. One evening, as the clan gathered around the fire, word arrived from a neighboring village that they had been attacked. This was no mere raid, whole families were slaughtered, their homes burned to the ground. Bjorn, the chieftain, called upon Ragnar and his men to prepare for retaliation. There was no time to waste. The enemy was getting closer, and their brutality showed they would stop at nothing. But just as Ragnar prepared to leave, Freya pulled him aside, her face pale with fear. Ragnar, she pleaded, her voice thick with emotion. I cannot bear it any longer. Every time you leave, I am haunted by the fear that you will not return. We could run away, leave this life behind. I would go anywhere with you. Ragnar's heart ached as he looked into her tearful eyes, but he knew what he had to say. Freya, you are my heart, my soul, but my life is here. This village, these people, they are my blood, my family. I am bound to them by honor, just as I am bound to you by love. To run would be to betray everything I am. Freya's face twisted with pain. She wanted to understand, but the thought of watching him ride away again tore at her. And what about me? She whispered. Do I not matter as much as this duty of yours? Ragnar pulled her close, his voice fierce yet gentle. You are the only peace I have in this life, Freya. But a man must have honor, or he is nothing. I cannot leave, but I swear to you I will return. As Ragnar prepared to ride out with the warriors, Freya was left with a terrible feeling in her heart. She knew the dangers of war all too well, but she also knew the dangers that lay within their own village. Not everyone shared Ragnar's strength, and honor, jealousy, and bitterness brewed among the men, especially among those who resented Ragnar's position and respect. One man in particular, Sigurd, a fellow warrior who had long harbored unrequited feelings for Freya, watched her with dark intent. With Ragnar gone, Sigurd saw an opportunity. He began to spread rumors, whispers meant to erode Freya's standing in the village. He told others that her love for Ragnar was a distraction, a weakness that could lead the warrior astray. And though Freya ignored the gossip, Sigurd's intentions grew darker, his jealousy fueling a need to have her, even if by force. As Ragnar fought in distant lands, Freya faced a battle of her own. Each day she waited, both hoping for his return and dreading what lay between them and peace. In the heart of the Viking village, Betrayal's intentions grew, and Freya's fear that she might lose Ragnar forever became more real than ever. Ragnar returned to the village in the dead of night, his body battered, his spirit weighed down by the battles he had endured. The raids had been fierce, and he had lost many friends on the battlefield. Yet, as he approached the village, a sense of unease filled him. Shadows flickered in the torchlight, and whispers floated through the air, whispers of betrayal, of secrets, of something dark brewing. Ragnar's first thought was of Freya. He moved swiftly to her home, and as he approached, he saw her waiting at the door, her face a mixture of relief and something else, fear. She ran to him, and in her arms, he felt the weight of every battle, every sacrifice, fall away. But before he could savor the peace, she pulled back, her voice trembling as she spoke. Ragnar, she said, casting a wary glance around, you must be careful. While you were away, Sigurd, he tried to come for me. He's filled the clan with lies, poisoned them against us, saying that our love has weakened you, that it has made you unfit to protect the village. Ragnar's jaw tightened, his eyes darkening with rage. Where is he? He growled, fists clenching. He knew Sigurd well, a warrior who had always chafed under Ragnar's leadership, his jealousy barely concealed. But to go after Freya, to spread lies and rumors, this was an act of treachery he couldn't forgive. Just then, Sigurd appeared from the shadows, his face twisted in a smug sneer. "Ah, Ragnar," he said, his voice dripping with mockery. "You returned from your battles, thinking yourself a hero, yet you have brought weakness to our village. A warrior distracted by love cannot be trusted to lead." The clan members gathered around, their faces uncertain, some looking at Ragnar with doubt in their eyes, others with loyalty. Sigurd seized the moment, stoking their fears. "Look at him. fighting for love while our people suffer. This woman has poisoned his mind. Freya stepped forward, her voice strong despite her fear. You speak of honor, Sigurd, yet you twist it for your own gain. Our love has not weakened Ragnar, it has made him stronger. But Sigurd sneered, looking from Freya to Ragnar with contempt. A warrior's heart has no place for softness, he spat. Either you choose your clan, Ragnar, or you choose her. You cannot have both. The crowd fell silent, all eyes on Ragnar. The weight of his choice pressed down on him like the cold steel of his sword. To choose Freya would mean defying his clan, possibly losing the respect and trust of his people. But to abandon her would mean forsaking the only person who had ever given him peace in a life filled with blood and chaos. Ragnar turned to Freya, her eyes searching his, and in that moment, he saw the depths of her love and her willingness to let him go if it meant he would survive. But he could not bear to live without her. He would rather die fighting for what they shared than live a life of empty loyalty to men who twisted honor into bitterness and betrayal. With a voice as steady as the mountains surrounding their village, Ragnar spoke. I have given my life to this clan, fought battles that left me scarred and broken. But this woman is my strength, my reason to return after every battle. She is no weakness, she is the fire that keeps me alive. If you cannot see that, then you do not know the meaning of true strength. Sigurd, enraged by the defiance, drew his weapon, challenging Ragnar in a final test of loyalty and honor. Ragnar accepted, knowing that this fight was not just for Freya but for the right to live his life by his own heart's code, not the poisoned expectations of others. The two men clashed in a brutal duel, the firelight reflecting off their blades as they fought with a ferocity fueled by years of tension and jealousy. In the end, it was Ragnar's love for Freya, his fierce resolve to protect her, that gave him the strength to defeat Sigurd. As Sigurd fell, the clan members looked upon Ragnar with newfound respect, realizing that his love was not a weakness, but a testament to his strength. Ragnar stood over Sigurd, breathing heavily, and looked out at his people. My loyalty has always been to this clan, he said, voice resonating with raw emotion. But Freya is part of me, as this land, this clan is part of me. To honor one, I must honor both. Freya rushed to his side, and together they stood before the clan, united in love and loyalty. The people, moved by his words and the strength he displayed, accepted Freya as his equal, understanding that their love was a bond forged in the same fires as battle and blood. In the years that followed, Ragnar and Freya led the clan together, their love unbroken and respected. Their story became legend, a testament to a love that thrived amidst the brutality of the Viking world. A love that proved true strength came not from denying one's heart but embracing it.